Hello, my friend, and welcome to the study. I hope you're having a beautiful spring. I have some interesting things here to look at. So we'll be looking at some art today and nature. Look at that. Buckingham Palace in London has released the official invitation for the coronation of King Charles III. It's an event that will take place on the 6th of May. This will be the first coronation of a British monarch for 80 years, the last being that of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This invitation will be sent to over 2,000 guests. It is so beautiful in its design that I thought it was a lovely thing to share with you in the study as an historic event. Not only does it mark a grand occasion, but it gives us an insight into all of the talents and art and thought that goes into ceremonies such as this. Bringing history together with the present in a beautiful show of craftsmanship. So I thought we'd look at that invitation together. The king himself is an honorary member of the Art Workers Guild, whose artists were asked to submit designs for the Coronation Invitation. His Majesty himself chose this design. This invitation is said to reflect the King's lifetime campaigns for the protection of the environment, as well as his love of nature and gardens. And it will be made on recycled paper with gold foil detailing. The design itself is by heraldic artist and illustrator Andrew Jameson. And the design includes images of Britain's natural world, wildflowers, birds and insects, as well as national heraldic emblems. The original artwork for this invitation was hand-painted in watercolor and gouache. The Green Man design incorporates this mysterious yet captivating figure from folklore. He's shown in ivy, hawthorn, and oak leaves. The Green Man has always been a symbol of spring and rebirth, a time of year that coincides with this momentous beginning of a new reign and a new monarch. The figure of the Green Man has taken many forms throughout history, sometimes that of a trickster, but primarily associated with rebirth and the sprouting of new life at spring, representing this cycle of new growth that occurs each year. In some festivals, he is represented by both the Holly King and the Oak King, who rule each half of the year between the two solstices. This green man is embodied in Druidic lore, as well as local festivities, Celtic, Saxon, Roman, and even wider cultures. He's been a spirit of the natural world, Robin Goodfellow, and even a winter figure resembling Father Christmas. He is most commonly depicted completely surrounded by leaves and was very popular in medieval stonework masonry as architectural elements or ornamentations. He is sometimes related to a Bacchus-like figure as well, and is popularly associated with English public houses or taverns. Although the green man is often thought of as a pagan symbol, carvings of him are found in churches across Europe, including Westminster Abbey, where the king will be crowned. And he is surrounded there by leaf decorations on the choir screen that separates the nave. Hovering there between pagan and Christian beliefs, between past and present, between the spirit world and the arcane. We can also see emblems of the United Kingdom. The border is decorated with wildflowers, like the kind in His Majesty's Wild Meadows at Highgrove, which is home to more than 70 different wildflowers and grasses. Other symbolic flowers that we can see are the 4 floral symbols of the United Kingdom. The rose, or the Tudor rose, that combines the red and white York and Lancaster symbols. The shamrock for Ireland, the Scottish thistle, and the daffodil for Wales. Additionally, there is lily of the valley, said to have been Queen Elizabeth II's favourite flower. There are wild strawberries that grow everywhere in Britain on the sides of the paths. There are dog roses, violets, bluebells, snowdrops, bluebells, cornflower, snowdrops, and we can even see a sprig of rosemary, symbolizing remembrance. Many flowers appear in groupings of 3, and this is supposedly to signify the king becoming the 3rd monarch to bear the name of Charles. Animals include a bee, a butterfly, a robin, a wren, and even a ladybird or ladybug. All creatures and fauna ubiquitous in the English countryside. One might even say that is a little pimpernel. And daisies and little buds, forget-me-nots and sprigs dotted throughout the design. The lion and unicorn, as well as the boar, are taken from the coats of arms of the king and his consort. Some newspapers, they've reported on the opening of this invitation, have already noted the similarity to this special little hand-painted invitation that was designed especially for the young Prince Charles from his mother for her 1953 coronation. It is adorned with little marching soldiers playing instruments, a playful lion and unicorn, and of course the English rose, the Scottish thistle, the Welsh daffodil, and the Irish shamrock. It's very nature-oriented, very happy, with the coat of arms at the top, with the crown, the Queen's crown there, and the draped Union Jack. This very colourful and lovely invitation was especially for the young prince. The official invitation for the rest of the 8,000-strong congregation attending was a much simpler, more somber, monotone design. But I thought that it was lovely that this was commissioned especially for the young boy. Prince Charles, the artist Andrew Jameson, who designed this year's Coronation Invitation, was born in London and lives in Scotland. He was trained in heraldry and manuscript illumination at the Ramsgate School of Art in Surrey. He has designed and illuminated royal letters patent and documents of state for the King's Crown Office, becoming a Queen's Scribe in 2011. Jameson submitted a black and white drawing as a proposed draft for a Coronation Invitation, using the theme of the King's well-known love of gardening and nature. After winning the commission, he was sworn to secrecy about his design until it was made public. He is said to have depicted the Green Man as a green king, wearing a crown made of hawthorn, ringed with flowers, to represent the new beginning. There's hawthorn flowers, and we can see a few of those on the invitation as well. We can also see Jameson's personal style in this lettering. It looks hand done as well, without being informal. It's got a certain dash to it, I think. He used his own style here, his own form of lettering, and is said to have based it on Renaissance italic and Roman font. And you can see the shape of the letters. Everything's uniform, yet just slightly natural to go with the wildflowers. Another interesting thing about this invitation is this little sign in the corner. This is a seal depicting a coat of arms and a handwritten Norfolk. We can also see on the Prince's 1953 invitation, handwritten Norfolk, E.M. E.M. stands for Earl Marshall. The Earl Marshall is in both invitations. By command of the Queen, the Earl Marshall is directed to invite. This Earl Marshall is a hereditary royal office holder and chivalric title under the sovereign King Charles or Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom. The Earl Marshall is the 8th of the great officers of state in the United Kingdom, ranking beneath the Lord High Constable of England and above the Lord High Admiral. It's almost like a Gilbert and Sullivan opera. The Dukes of Norfolk have held this office since 1672. Earl Marshall might be said to have come from Maréchal, the Norman word for a mounted vassal. The Marshal, as well as the constable, was originally responsible for the monarch's horses and stables, and included connected military operations. With the decline of feudalism, however, which lasted over hundreds of years, this position of Earl Marshal evolved. And among his responsibilities today is the organization of major ceremonial state occasions, including the state opening of Parliament, which is quite a show itself. Additionally, the Earl Marshal is the leading officer of arms and oversees the College of Arms, and the sole judge of the High Court of Chivalry, a court for the administration of justice in accordance with the law of arms, which is concerned historically with subjects relating to military matters, such as ransom, booty and soldiers' wages, and including the misuse of armorial bearings. No coat of arms may be granted without his warrant. As a symbol of his office, he carries a baton of gold with black finish at either end. And there, my friends, we have this beautifully designed and decorated piece of history for everyone in the world to see. Look at all the beautiful colors. Just looking at this, there's more to it than a pretty invitation to a coronation. There's history, there's art, and there are personal stories involved. reminds us that everything we do in today's world has come to us through a lot of work and love of people for their office or their particular muse. I hope you've enjoyed looking at these beautiful illustrations with me. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, night, afternoon, morning. Be good to yourself. Be kind to others and to the wildlife. What things do you see when you take a walk outside? And above all, be extraordinary.